And welcome everybody here to the X-Bomb Sports Live Show. My name is Andrew Valentin, and as always, I will come to you live here from the Illinois Media School here in beautiful Lombard, Illinois. I hope you all are ready for a fun one, everybody. I hope you're enjoying your Wednesday. With me is God, you look like you have just been lost in the world, my friend. I mean, seriously. The rugged, the ever good-looking, handsome man himself, Mr. Tyler Prickett. He is back, ladies and gentlemen. Tyler, how you doing, man?
I'm great. Glad to be back. I wasn't able to make it last week. I had to babysit. And then my dog had I forget what the disease is. It's not a disease.
He's just feeling not too good.
No, it took him to the vet.
Okay.
So it's a good thing I don't want to say it's a good thing I didn't come here, but it's a good thing I didn't come here.
No, hey man, you got to take care of your personal stuff, you know.
Crap hit the fan.
Yeah.
And it was, $600 later.
Oh jeez. So. yeah. It's that's rough stuff, man. What? Well, I always tell you guys, make sure that personal stuff is always,
Not really sure what we're going to be talking about today, but I need to go on a little rant.
Okay.
All right, Mitchell Trubisky. If you are the reason that the Chicago Bears do not get a Super Bowl, we're coming for your head.
Really, just out front like that, man.
I mean, seriously, whatever you got to do, you just got to, maybe play Madden or something so you can identify coverages. I don't understand the excuse of not being able to see the field.
Yeah.
So you've been doing this your whole life. I don't care if it's a lack of experience. It's like you have nothing to lose anyways. You may as well just take shots down the field. Stop, trying to find the perfect throw and just throw it.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Brett Favre, who's going to be a Hall of Famer, he has a lot of interceptions. The dude, you got to be a gamer.
Trust me on this, Tyler. We're gonna get into this. I mean, I know we're gonna definitely bear into this a little bit more. Maybe not this part, but you'll certainly be able to pour your heart out. I understand where you're coming from, man. I understand. But ladies and gentlemen, we got a fun one for you guys today. We've got a lot of football talk we got to get through, guys. Definitely with the NFL, we're gonna definitely dive into some college football, because especially since our college football guy is finally back here, so we can finally talk some of it. But Tyler, you ready to hit this, man?
Let's get it.
All right. First thing we're gonna kick this off with, ladies and gentlemen, is of course. We got a lot of players right now in the NFL that are getting hurt. We got a lot of players in the NFL that are asking to leave their teams, and it's a smorgasbord of different things going on. I mean, for the update on the trades, Minkah Fitzpatrick was asking for a trade from the Dolphins, and he's out of there. He's going to the Pittsburgh Steelers for a first, a fifth, and a sixth-round pick in the 2021 draft. So Minkah Fitzpatrick, now a Pittsburgh Steeler. You've got Jalen Ramsey, who says he wants out. Jaguars have reported that they're not going to trade him until Friday, but they want 2 first-round picks for him.
But the Jalen Ramsey thing is, it's not the same as what Mika is saying. Kenyon Drake wants to get out. All these guys want to get out, and I understand that. Antonio Brown, even go back further to him. Melvin Gordon not getting paid. He wants out, obviously. But the thing with Jalen Ramsey is he just had an altercation with this coach, and so it's detrimental to the team. You can't really go back from there. So I would put him aside, and the guy is probably the best corner in the league. So
I would definitely say top 5. I mean, he's right up there.
Hey, I understand the frustration. I don't know if you listened to his press conference, but basically he was just saying I'm a winner. I got upset and whatever, but now whatever happens. But I'm focused on Thursday night.
I mean, the whole Jalen Ramsey. First off, the Minkah Fitzpatrick thing, I can understand that to an extent. I mean,
because he's a young player. Yeah. He doesn't even want to play the corner position. First of all, he's a safety, and he's not gonna. And it doesn't make sense because the Steelers. He's not going to play. He's not going to play safety there either. They have 2 young safeties.
And that's the thing is that with the 2 safeties that they already have in the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean,
so
I'm looking at that saying, well, he's going to play opposite then of Joe Hayden, but he doesn't want to play corner. So then what exactly are you getting him for then? Are you getting him for depth or something? Are you going to play him at the nickel? What are we talking about here? So,
right, and he deserves to be on the field all the time.
Yeah, he's a very special player, certainly. But the Jalen Ramsey thing, I mean, there's 2 ways this thing can fall. Certainly a lot of people, you can understand where his frustration is coming from because it's okay, the Jaguars, they're kind of in this slump a little bit. I like the backup quarterback. I mean, I think he's doing pretty well. But
people don't understand that in 2017 he was 5th in Heisman voting.
No, yeah, he's been one of the nation's top passers for the past 2 years
at Washington
in college football.
State.
Yeah, I mean he's proven that Mike Leach with that powerful offense, you can get stuff done. And kid comes in, throws a really pretty football. I mean, but other than that, I mean, they just don't have enough going for themselves right now. I mean, that whole game with the Texans, I mean, that's a huge upset because they were right there on the goal line, and they give it to Leonard Fournette, which everybody kind of saw coming. He tries to dive in. They say he didn't cross the line. Game over. I mean, Texans win. And that was probably the final straw for him. It was probably like, well, then you know what? I want out of Jacksonville. But that's the other thing that hurts him with this, because now whoever gets him, because somebody will pick him up for whatever. I don't know if he's 2 first-round picks worthy. I'd say maybe like a first and a second. I know people are saying first and third, but I'd say, first and probably a second would be good for him. But whoever gets him, now you say, okay, if that's the way you're going to react, then if we get in a slump, is this just going to be another situation? Like, what kind of teammate are you then in the locker room,
That's why he's got to go to a team that's ready to win now or young and coming up to that point where they're going to be ready to win. I would love if the Bears made that move. My theory here is, trade. Sorry, you're going to think it's crazy.
Yeah.
My theory here is trade them Mitchell Trubisky.
Okay.
Get back Jalen Ramsey and a first-round pick, and we give them our next year's first-round pick because we don't have one coming this year. We don't have a first-round this year.
Yeah.
Give them a first-round pick, Mitchell Trubisky, and a second, and then get back Jalen Ramsey and a first-round pick.
Yeah.
And then go out and get Alex Smith or Eli Manning, honestly. Just somebody that can facilitate this offense.
Yeah.
And because the thing with that is, you do that, you bring in Jalen Ramsey. He's only making like $3 million a year right now because he's on his rookie contract. And so if Mitch is the guy, great, he's the guy. Let Jalen Ramsey walk after we win the Super Bowl or whatever. And then if Mitch isn't the guy, pay Jalen Ramsey and draft a quarterback.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It's definitely outrageous. Problem with that is Trubisky at this point, he's only probably worth maybe like a second-round pick.
He ain't worth first.
At the best. I mean, and unfortunately. And the Jaguars wouldn't even probably try and trade for a quarterback at this point. I think they're going to ride with they like Minshew.
Yeah.
I think they're going to ride with him at this point. I mean, I understand where you're coming from. I certainly would like Jalen Ramsey.
I would
but
love that.
At the same time, it's like the price for him is going to cost. I mean, you're
him
talking about
Prince.
another first-round pick going for the year.
Right.
We've already given it away to Oakland this year, so we're not getting that. So you're talking about your 2021 first-round pick, and you better hope then that you've got this quarterback situation kind of figured out then with Trubisky. So, I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I'd like to get him. I know there's a lot of teams. There are a lot of teams that are looking for him right now. I mean, Kansas City, New England are definitely the 2 top ones.
I would love Kansas City. That'd be awesome.
Kansas City's the one right now that they can spare the first-round draft pick because they don't really need
him.
Yeah, they need defensive backs
if they're going to want to stop AB,
they're
going to need him.
I mean, in the whole Jalen Ramsey and all the Minkah Fitzpatrick stuff, and
now did you see Jamal Adams? He unfollowed the Jets on Instagram and Twitter.
Although Adam Gase has said on record that benching Jamal Adams, he did not bench Jamal Adams. What he did, he just took him out of the game for game time situation. But still, Jamal Adams is like, well, if this is the way we're going to handle things, because he's clearly
the leader.
He's the leader of that defense. He's one of the top 3 players on that team right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very easy to say he might even be the best player on the team. Yeah. So, I mean, it's to have your safety saying that, that hurts. Although I will say I think the Jets played a lot better than what we saw on Monday night. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I mean even with a third-string quarterback,
I thought they were going to be a pretty competitive team. And it sucks that, Sam Darnold goes down with mono or whatever.
Yeah.
And they think like all hope's lost for this season, but it's really not. I mean, other than the Patriots, that division, is up for grabs. Really,
Right.
I mean, the Patriots just get lucky with the most easiest schedule ever.
It seems like it. They got a very easy ride in the AFC East right now.
Yeah, it's really easy for them, and then they go out and get Antonio Browns. It's like, all right, just crown them now. But that's why I would love it if Kansas City goes out and gets
I mean, that would be a great
Jalen
one-on-one
Ramsey.
then for Antonio Brown. That would be a great matchup there.
And then you got Kendall Fuller opposite of him and Juwan Thornhill, shut down Julian Edelman.
Yeah.
That'd be
tough. It'd definitely be tough. But outside of that, obviously, we had a slew of injuries. I mean, you have Drew Brees, who's out for like 6 to 8 weeks. It's seeming like.
Yeah, he's doing the surgery.
Yes,
so
he is doing the
timetable
surgery.
is 6 to 8 weeks. Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Which if the Bears will not have to face Drew Brees.
Yes, they
So
will.
if we don't beat the Saints, we have to.
Hey, you never know, man. Teddy Bridgewater throws a hell of a ball, man.
And Sean Payton actually said that he's not counting Bridgewater as a starter. He's approaching it as they have two starting quarterbacks with him and Taysom Hill.
God, he's really selling hard on Taysom Hill. I like the guy, but at the same time, you use him so much in all these different little patterns.
People are gonna know.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I'm not sold on that. But yeah, with Drew Brees out, obviously that puts a lot in question as far as where his future is, and obviously on top of that too, you've also got Big Ben Roethlisberger for the first time I think in his career, or I think at least for the second time maybe in his career. Certainly, he's sitting out an entire season now after only just playing the first 2 weeks of the year, which. Yes, the Steelers weren't really looking very hot. They weren't really looking at their best, but now losing their starting quarterback, I mean, that's a harsh one there.
And, I think it certainly hurts Juju a little bit. But as far as the other guys, Vance McDonald, I think gets an uptick because Mason Rudolph likes throwing to the tight end.
Yeah.
And then also he has that connection from Oklahoma State with James Washington. So I think James Washington gets an uptick, and I don't really see Dante Moncrief doing much from here on out.
Yeah.
But the main concern here is getting James Conner healthy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, and so far right now, from what I've seen from the Steelers, their report is that James Conner's knee is not as serious as we're leading up to, but obviously that could just be the Steelers
Media
covering
blows
for this.
up anything,
yeah, they could easily be covering this kind of thing. I mean, it seems like he can still run strong. It just doesn't look like he's going to be able to put the kind of pressure on it that he needs to really hammer as a back.
And then you got other, Doug Peterson talking about Alshon Jeffrey and Deshaun Jackson's injuries. Deshaun Jackson was listed as like a 4 to 6 week, not 4 to 6. It was something around there. And Alshon Jeffrey was the same, like possibly 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And Doug Peterson's up at the podium saying, "Oh, they're day to day."
Yeah, yeah.
They're not going to tell you anything.
Well, it just came out today, I believe it was, that they said with all the injuries the Eagles have, because apparently Carson Wentz is now feeling a little bit of a lull too, I guess, in practice.
He got drilled.
Yeah, he's getting beaten. They said that they shut down Eagles practice altogether. So no Eagles practice today. So
that's smart.
It's probably the best thing to do. Let everybody heal. Let everybody kind of take a day off, relax, because that entire Eagles team right now is battered and bruised. They got a lot of walking wounded at this point.
And they got this Sunday game, and then they play the quick turnaround with Thursday game.
Right. Yeah. So. But, of course, I mean, for a non-injury, obviously, this is kind of like the big story that was passing around, at least for the last couple of days. It's the whole New York Giants, ladies and gentlemen, and that is that Eli Manning, the longtime starting quarterback for the New York Giants, who we did a prediction on what quarterback would make it to week 3 or 4. I think it was me and Tom had did it. Who was going to last to week 3 or 4 before they got changed out? And Eli Manning, they said there was no quarterback competition. I really thought by week 4 he would be out. He didn't even make it to week 4. It's week 3, and now Daniel Jones has been named the starting quarterback. So it's official, ladies and gentlemen, the number 6 overall pick from Duke. We're going to see if this kid can actually pan out, Tyler. I mean,
I
what
really
are your
like
thoughts?
him.
Do you think
I do. I wasn't a big believer coming into the draft or anything like that, and I thought they reached, which they did. I mean, no matter how you put it, they definitely reached. They could have sat back and either traded back into the first round and get him or something. He wasn't gonna, he wasn't.
I really think they could have got him in the second round. If you don't take him at 6, I think nobody touches him till
because he was like the number
round.
6 or 7 quarterback, let alone like a top 50 player, right?
Yeah, I mean he was. Look, he performed well. He had the size, but I looked at him and I said, late first, if the Patriots are going to pick him up for like a backup quarterback, but I didn't think they were going to do that because they never have before and forever. Or he's going to fall to the second round and somebody's going to be like, okay, as a backup project quarterback, we'll take him.
It's just like they had way too many other other holes to fill.
Right.
Whether that's defense or offensive line or anything like that. So it didn't make sense to me, but now we're sitting here and he's the starting quarterback, and I trust it, and I like what they do. Shermer coming out and having his first start going against Tampa Bay. Now that Tampa Bay defense has gotten a little bit better, but it's still Tampa Bay, so it's not like what Josh Rosen had to face in his first time coming out facing the Bears defense.
Right.
That traumatized the kid. He's never going to be the same.
No.
I mean, if you don't get off to a good start, you're never going to get back to that good start, and I like him. I mean, I almost played him. He's like, I don't know if you play FanDuel or anything like that. Or
no, yeah, I have before.
He's $6,000. I mean, that's the cheapest quarterback.
Okay.
It's like I was thinking about playing him.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see him going off for like three touchdowns, 300 yards. I don't see how that's far-fetched because he looked really good in preseason.
No, yeah, preseason's where everybody was kind of like, okay, we're kind of getting sold on this kid. I'm a little reluctant because obviously it's his first game, and even like you said, it's Tampa. They're kind of in a rebuild. They're looking a little bit better. I think he's probably going to have some balls where it's like, why the hell did you throw that one? So I'm thinking like 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, but I think he'll show some stuff.
Yeah, he also has a lack of receiver help. I mean, Golden Tate is out with suspension.
Right.
Sterling Shepard is still in protocol. He's possibly not going to be playing. Cody Latimer is in.
Right now he's hurt. He's out.
Right. His number 1 and 2 receivers are Benny Fowler and Ty Jones.
Yeah.
It's like you give the guy a break. I mean,
although you got to say
Ingram,
he played with them in preseason. So
right. No, I understand. Yeah, exactly. And he threw at Benny Fowler a lot.
Right.
Yeah. So, and I understand it's preseason.
Yeah.
And we can't like inflate that or anything.
Right.
But at the same time, you can still tell if a guy's a good quarterback or not. He was throwing a good ball, nice dimes into the corner of the end zone, like giving his receivers chances to make the catches and not giving the defender a chance to make the catch. And
well, and you can even
I like what I've seen.
You could even see, too, when he was doing his pre-snap reads, he was scanning over the linebackers, and then as he drops back, he's looking off the corners, he's checking the safeties, and then he's finding the right places to dump the ball. He's not trying to zip it in there where it needs to be. Obviously, he trusts his arm. I mean, he's got a decent one to go for it, but he understands, look, I could go for Latimer, who's running as far down the field as possible, but with double coverage there, why not just dump it to Evan Ingram or, get a quick toss to Saquon Barkley and let's get a quick 5. And,
exactly.
You don't have to go for the long ball, ladies and gentlemen. If you got a son or you're a quarterback out there, understand, you don't got to go for the long ball. Trickle the ball down the field. It's very easy. Trust me, Dak Prescott does it a lot, and look at how good he is. Tom Brady does it
He's the best
every time, and he kills people with it. Trust us.
Yeah, no, but what was it? Geez, I forgot what I was going to say, but Daniel Jones. Oh, no. What I was going to say is the underlying factor here is that Eli Manning probably he is not skillful enough to play the position anymore. And but he still knows how to play. Like, he's going to be teaching him, and I respect that out of him. He's just going to be back there. He's going to be basically another quarterback coach for him, and he's going to help him along the way. And I think Daniel Jones is going to get off to a good start in his career.
Now, before we jump out of this, I want to ask you, obviously, Breeze hurt with an injury. He's going to be out for quite a couple weeks. Roethlisberger's out for the season, and now Eli Manning's been benched. Obviously, different situations for all these guys. All of them, yes, he probably should have been on the bench last year or even 2 years ago, certainly. But all these guys now are kind of in that fading moments of their career.
Right.
Where, real quick, what do you see happening for these 3 guys? Do you think that they stick around? Do you think retirement, or do you think because all these guys have been with their teams for quite a while? So, what are you thinking?
I can see Drew Brees I believe he'll come. Obviously, he'll come back this year and he'll play. And I think he's got 2 or 3 more years left. With him, and then especially in that Saints system, and then Ben, I can honestly see like if Mason Rudolph is the proverbial guy, like, and he's looking good. I could see Ben coming back and kind of having like an Andrew Luck moment where he's just like, screw it.
Yeah.
And but he says he wants to honor his contract and whatnot. So, and they'd be $17 million in dead cap with him.
Yes.
So, they're gonna use him, or I guess I don't think they would trade him. But no, I think Ben Roethlisberger comes back. Eli, I think, retires after the season, unless one of these teams that are in a playoff run or something and just need a plug-and-play quarterback trades for him. But
that is the one thing that I've been hearing from everybody is like, well, if they need a veteran quarterback, and I'm like, would Eli really want to leave New York? He's been a Giant
he said he
forever.
No, he also said he would not waive his trade clause.
Oh, really?
No trade clause.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
So he wants to sit the bench, basically.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Tyler's saying come back, and retire for Eli Manning. I'm kind of feeling the same way, to be honest. I mean, Big Ben, he just never seems to quit. Drew Brees, I'm in the same thing. I still think that guy can go on for a couple more years with the way he plays. And Eli, Look, man, we love you, but I think at this point they're pulling you just so this way you don't go 500 for your career. You're
think he
116,
is.
115 right. He's 116 and 115 right now.
Oh,
if he
wow.
loses if he would have lost next week, that's 500 record right there. So
Wow.
I think they're really hoping that
All
he's like, okay, he's the winningest quarterback in the Giants
His
history,
history.
but he's also the losingest quarterback in Giants history. Let's try to keep him above 500, shall
All
we?
right, so
Yeah.
quick prediction. The Giants finish 14-2 and go 16-0 next year.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Really?
I'm
Okay.
kidding.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, you can let us
But
know.
I do think Saquon Barkley has an uptick in his production. From now
Oh,
on.
well, thank you. I'm glad
do.
for that, at least for our bragging rights, which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I'm 2-0 in, just to say. I've been scoring the most points in the XBP bragging rights.
I wasn't paying attention. I had Tony Pollard in when Zeke was playing.
You
and I was
smoked
like,
him,
oops.
so. You had the worst fantasy week of our group, man. I love you, buddy.
Been there, done that.
Just get Cam Newton out of the lineup, man. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you can let us know what you guys think about that down below, about all the quarterback changes and all the trades and all the big rumors that are going around. Again, comment down below. Let us know what you guys think about that. All right. Moving on from that, obviously, we've got our NFL update for week 2. We're going to run through these really quickly, kind of give our little bits and take on this, on what happened throughout the game. So you ready for this one, Tyler?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's kick it off. We already kind of talked about Bucks and Panthers. Really was kind of a terrible game on both ends. Cam Newton's pretty much done. Jameis Winston at this point, I mean, he played halfway to decent, but you need a new quarterback in that system.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, Tampa Bay's defense might be decent.
And they will be the one thing that saves their season, if anything.
Right,
If they can get if they can get 4 wins, it's because of this defense.
They were able to shut down Christian McCaffrey. I don't know if that was field conditions or just knowing that Cam couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Cam is inept at the quarterback position.
Yeah, really.
But it kind of, it's a good matchup for Daniel Jones in his first one, but you would have liked it to be against, Cincinnati or something like that. But
yeah. By the way, if you need to know the score, Tampa was 20, Panthers 14. So that was the score there. All right, so moving into the Sunday matchups. You got 49ers 41 and Bengals 17. I mean, this was huge. This was absolutely huge. As you guys can see there, Garoppolo finally looked like the actual quarterback that he should have been there. 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. For Andy Dalton. I mean, I'll give him credit. At least he got 2 touchdowns in there, but he still made some. Yes, who is right, Tom? But he still did not. He still made some very bad throws. He threw a terrible interception there. I mean, 49ers took full advantage of these guys all the way through. And honestly, I don't know what else can save the Bengals at this point. But it was a good win for the 49ers. Good upstart.
I mean, people need to slow the roll on the Niners, though.
Yeah.
I mean, they have 2 wins. One's against Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
And
Which was not a
against
good one for the offense, mind you.
Cincinnati
The defense won that
Bengals.
first game.
Yeah. So Tampa Bay and the Bengals. And I saw Nate Burleson on his Good Morning Football power rankings. He has them at 5.
Yeah, I know.
Slow your roll.
Let's calm it down a little bit before. Let's see what the Niners can do when they start playing the real competition. Let's get them.
They're not going to be Seattle. They're not going to be the Rams.
I was going to say they're going to have to play some really tough teams with some really decent or really good defenses.
Who's the other team in that? Oh, the
Arizona,
Cardinals.
yeah.
I can see the Cardinals beating them.
Yeah, well, with the way Kyler Murray played.
Yeah, he's looking good.
Yeah. All right, next game. This was probably my worst game of the week. It was Chargers losing. Chargers only scored 10. The Lions won 13-10. So the Lions.
I did not see any of that game.
It was awful. It was
big
awful.
takeaway is maybe Austin Eckler is actually better than people think.
Oh, Austin Eckler and Justin Jackson, those guys are proving right now you don't need the $10 million running back or the $50 million running back. If you got 2 guys who can balance it out, one with speed and one with strength, and can both catch the ball, guess what? You're in a good setup. So ultimately, I gave it to Eckler. I mean, he had 133 total yards. I mean, he put up my fantasy points, that's for sure. Kenny Galladay, I gave it to him just because I didn't think Stafford really played very well. That's all. All right, so next one, we've got Minnesota Vikings versus the Green Bay Packers. Packers won 21-16.
Packers got gifted because Kirk Cousins is horrible.
He is.
No, Kirk Cousins is horrible.
Yeah, no, it's he has an arm, but for some reason he.
Why are you throwing the ball when there's 5 minutes left? You got Aaron Rodgers on the other side of the field who's going to come into the game if you score right away.
Yeah.
You can run the ball, run the clock down, and score. You have Dalvin freaking Cook and Alexander Madison. They're not stopping you. I'm just saying, your whole bread and butter is running the football. Why are you giving Kirk Cousins the ball in his hands with 5 minutes left to blow the game, which he did?
At this point.
That's not what they do, though. They're trying to run the Pete Carroll style of offense where they don't throw the ball anymore.
All right.
Well, you got to get there first.
Well, hey,
and you stick with what you know.
Dalvin Cook was kind of the hero of the game in this one. I mean, 154 yards, 1 touchdown. I mean, he was able to keep the Vikings alive
I have him in
it.
4 leagues.
Really?
I love Dalvin Cook.
I will say this right now. He's proven me wrong. I really thought he was just going to turn out and be an average running back. Right now, he's starting to look like the actual running back we need. And then gave it to Rodgers, of course. I mean, he played really well. He threw some really good touchdowns there. What's up?
I wouldn't say that.
I don't know.
Their defense is better than
Their defense
people
did
think.
a really good job on the pass rush. Running wise, they need to step up their game a little bit because you could see when.
It was 21-7.
Yeah.
But that was I don't know. I take that with a grain of salt.
I still think Minnesota's probably going to finish below 500. I think
Green Bay's defense comes out firing on all cylinders right away, and then they tire out.
Yeah.
I'll agree to that. But
it's
their
tough.
defense is better than people think.
All right, so next we've got the Indianapolis Colts. They beat the Tennessee Titans 19-17. Jacoby Brissett. I mean, he didn't throw for over 200 yards. He only threw for less than 150 yards, but he threw 3 really nice touchdowns. All of them, I mean, on the money, basically. I mean, this kid's got a lot of good touch.
And I said this. I believe I said this on the show. That what people didn't realize was when he came in for Andrew Luck when he was hurt in whatever that was 2017.
Yeah.
He'd only taken 20% of the reps, first team reps. So he was gonna look not that great. But he comes from Bill Belichick, behind Brady, and he played good there.
Yeah.
And he was drafted to be a pretty decent quarterback. I think it was a 3rd round pick.
3rd or 4th round
But
pick.
yeah,
He was
exactly.
a low round pick.
It's not, it's not terrible. Like he's not like he's just some bum.
Yeah.
And he comes and he gets 90% of the first team reps. He's gonna change around.
Yeah.
Only 149 yards. That's pretty. 146 yards. That's pretty lackluster. But Tennessee's defense is pretty stout.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, even if you only throw for like 146 yards, if you get the 3 TDs, it really doesn't matter at that point.
He got the job done.
Exactly. And, also Derrick Henry, I mean, I would have given it to Mariota, but I just thought Derrick Henry he had a nice run in there to be able to get into the end zone. So, I give it to him there. All right. Next, New England Patriots 43, Dolphins nothing. The Dolphins have been blown out in the last 2 games. They've been outscored, over 100 points now, I think it is, over these last 2 games. They're probably looking to go 3 because they got to play the Dallas Cowboys next.
What was the Baltimore score, like 56-0?
59 to 10. That was
59-10.
Yeah, so they haven't been blown out, but they've been certainly outscored by over 100 points, and they've only put up 10 at this point. Yeah, Tom Brady was able to put in 264 yards, 2 touchdowns. I didn't even know what to take for the Dolphins as far as like their MVP for the game. So I went with Preston Williams, their wide receiver, four catches for 63 yards. Yeah. I couldn't give it to Josh Rosen because he played terrible and he threw an interception.
Fitzpatrick threw 2 pick sixes.
Yeah. What? Maybe, I don't know. I mean, look, man. At least Josh Rosen's not Andy. Andy Dalton's not Josh Rosen, so that's a plus. I mean,
yeah.
But. I don't even know what to say about this game right now. I mean, Antonio Brown did catch his first touchdown pass for the New England Patriots.
And my biggest takeaway is that I think Julian Edelman and Josh Gordon are they're obviously going to lose some opportunity.
Oh yeah.
Seems like Antonio Brown is the guy.
Yeah. Although I hope that Tom's still willing to kind of spread the wealth and facilitate this game a little bit with those guys. Because once you start targeting Antonio Brown, I know he's still good, but if people start double teaming on him, you're gonna, you can't just try and take your shot with him every time. But that's the thing with Tom. We always know he'll find his guy.
Check down Charlie.
Jerk off. All right. All right, next we've got the Buffalo Bills 28 against the New York Giants 14. I will say this. Josh Allen is starting. I mean, you were more up on Josh Allen than I was. Obviously, Sam Darnold now being out with mono, he's going to be out till like week 5 or week 6, I think they said. So, he's not going to be able to really prove himself. But Josh Allen is really stepping it up with a very lackluster Buffalo Bills roster.
Should they have Josh Allen or Mr. Trubisky?
At this point, I'd rather have Josh Allen.
Thank you.
So, I mean, look, the guy did a great job. I mean, he threw a touchdown pass. He ran one in, threw for some pretty good yards, 253 yards. So, I mean, he connected on him and John Brown right now are just like tick and tack. Like, they're perfect with each other. As far as on the other side of the ball, I mean, for the New York Giants, I gave it to Barkley. I mean,
how can you not?
He did a good – yeah, he was basically the whole offense. He put the touchdown in there. So, I mean, right now Buffalo's the king of New York. So, how about that? I mean, the Jets haven't even won in the stadium yet. Neither have the Giants. Who's been winning in that stadium? The Buffalo Bills. How about that one? All right, next we've got the Seattle Seahawks 28 against the Pittsburgh Steelers 26. So, obviously Ben Roethlisberger – getting hurt, Mason Rudolph stepping in, threw 2 really good touchdowns to Vance McDonald. I mean, they were a little bit kind of iffy, but still not the worst things in the world. I mean, he kept them in the game, certainly. But Russell Wilson at this point, I mean, if you're not calling him a top 5 quarterback, what's wrong with you? I mean, he is on top of his game at this point.
29-35.
And I kept him on the bench.
300 yards.
I think he's better than Matt Ryan. I really think he's better than Matt Ryan.
Yeah, he's better than Matt Ryan.
You can look at me and say blasphemy all you want, but okay. Yeah. Yeah. So what Tom's saying is he'll have good year, then bad year, then he alternates between that. I mean, but here's the thing, though. He's never really had, like, a bad year. He's always kind of had just, like, the worst I think he's done is, like, an okay year. But he's still been one of the top passers in the league for a long time. Yeah, Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
I mean, it's – and, Steelers, obviously – I'm not saying their season's over, but I don't think they're winning the division at this point.
I think I said something about that because, obviously, the NFC West – the Cardinals having to face Seattle and Russell Wilson all the time, they go and get their own Russell Wilson and Kyler Murray. So
yeah, true. Very true.
That's what I thought.
Well, I mean, right now
the reason they wanted that.
Right now, he's playing a little bit like Russell Wilson. We'll see if he can actually be Russell Wilson.
Yeah, get him some offensive line help before the guy dies.
Please.
How about that?
Really. Jesus, if he takes another hit like I think I've seen a couple times, he's gonna die. All right, next one we've got Dallas Cowboys 31. Washington Redskins, yes, I hate it too, Tom. Washington Redskins 21. I mean, look, Dak Prescott at this point, he's the man.
He's gonna get paid.
He's gonna make that money.
Yeah, he deserves it. I'm officially a Dak believer.
Really?
I'm officially a Dak believer. I was. What?
Oh, we all hate the Cowboys at this point.
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say everybody
I wouldn't say
hates
I hate
the
Cowboys. I hate their fans.
Oh, okay.
The fan base
that's fine.
is
That's
pretty
fine.
garbage. But
I'll take that.
No, I mean, if you go to the other side of the ball, Case Keenum's looking like he can actually be something.
That's the weirdest thing about this is that Case Keenum goes to the Vikings. His whole career as a backup goes to the Vikings, gets his opportunity, leads them to an NFC championship, or is at least one of the reasons why they get there.
Denver.
Yeah, dumped in Denver, doesn't do anything, I think because John Elway didn't want to commit to him, really. And then now he goes to Washington, and they say, well, we'll commit to you. And all of a sudden now he's, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions at this point? I mean, he's putting up he's putting up numbers.
He's looking real good.
And he's doing it with the right Gruden, not the wrong Gruden.
Yeah, and he doesn't have the best. I mean, Terry McLaurin's good, Trey Quinn, and then you got Paul Richardson.
Right.
And
that's
his
the thing.
tight ends. Vernon Davis and Jordan Reed's been hurt. So and then the running back situation is like. The guy doesn't really have much help, and he's getting it done. So
you can't really run it because Darius Geis is out.
For some reason, Dwayne Haskins takes over, and Mr. Trubisky's still bad, and the Bears are still in the midst of a playoff push.
Yeah.
Trade for him, please.
He
He makes way too much money, though.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason.
Yeah, that contract is a little bit insane at this point.
For him, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, look, on both sides of this, I mean, there's promise. There's certainly promise for the Cowboys. Just let's not be talking about a Super Bowl, okay, Cowboy fans? Let's hold it down a little bit.
Yeah, well, that's one of my things I'm saying.
Yeah.
Either Case Keenum is good or that defense is not as good as everybody thinks.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, this defense is supposed to be one of the top 10 in the league. And
Right.
right now, I mean, they've been showing a little bit of promise, but you haven't played anybody yet, and now you're going to play the Dolphins next. So, well, you know, just wait and see what happens when you actually play the real competition. Yeah, if the Dolphins actually stomp them, Tom, I'll give you $20. How about that? But it's got to be like a 21-point differential, like kind of stomping, or 28. 28 point
I'm
differential.
tempted to throw like 5 on that 21 line.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go. All right, we'll stick with the 21. Let's do that.
21 odds.
Yeah.
21 to.
If the Dolphins can beat that Cowboy butt, I'll give you $20.
Not just for one drive.
Yes, yeah. You can't just. It's got to be the end of the game. Yeah, trust me, he's done a lot of these guessing things, and he's been like, I'm right, and then we're like, God damn. Yeah, I know. You were right about Eric Hosmer. You're right about other ones. We're not going to talk about that, though. All right. So next we've got the Jacksonville Jaguars against the Houston Texans, which was, I mean, it was a rough one. Texans won it 13-12. I mean, Gardner Minshew played pretty well. He was able to throw in a touchdown, didn't throw an interception, so that was a plus. He also led the team in rushing yards, which is not a good sign. And as far as Houston goes, I mean, if you do not protect Dak Prescott, if you do not protect Deshaun Watson, apologies.
That's what I'm saying.
Just get him some protection. That left side looks pretty decent.
Right.
Laramie Tunsil and that offensive guard they drafted.
Tunsil's actually dealing with some soreness.
Yeah, which is not the right time for this to be happening because he's been hit more times than any other quarterback right now in the NFL. He's taken, he was sacked 6 times. He got hit 10, I think I saw.
Yeah.
Like, how much longer is this guy going to go? He's going to break soon. You're going to break your shiny quarterback.
Yeah, your brand new quarterback.
Yeah, what the hell?
But no, like, I believe he is matchup proof, but the offensive line is not matchup proof. And I mean,
that offensive line needs to.
If you can't protect him, Deshaun Watson's not going to take you anywhere.
If they do not go into this next year's draft and take whatever draft picks they have or start making trades for first-round picks and start drafting offensive linemen, you are asking for trouble. If this kid does not get hurt this year with a serious injury, next year it's going to be bloodbath. And then you're going to really find out how hard it is, again, not to have a quarterback.
Yep.
Protect your guy. That's all I'm saying.
David
all right.
Carr.
Next, you've got the Chiefs, 28 against the Oakland Raiders, who only scored 10. I would have given it to Patrick Mahomes for my guy, but I gave it to Robinson because that kid, to be the replacement for Tyreek Hill and go out there 6 catches, 172 yards. I know it's Patrick Mahomes throwing him the football, but still, I mean, look, we all know what Mahomes can do. Like, he's not Aaron Rodgers. He's not Tom Brady. He's a whole new breed of quarterback that everybody's going to be looking for. He's mobile. He's in the pocket. He can throw it 80 yards.
Can we call him the GOAT yet?
Not yet. He's got to play a little bit longer before we can call him the GOAT. I say let's call him the unicorn or the dragon or because we've never seen this before. This is a totally different beast. We've not seen this. He's
a wizard.
He's the only time I think we've come close to this maybe is Dan Marino, but Dan Marino didn't even do the things like he does mobile. So,
no.
I mean, I don't know what to say anymore. And as for Oakland, the only thing I could say was Josh Jacobs looks really good.
Yeah, no.
That's all I can say.
A lot of people think that Oakland was I was watching the Twitter feed and holy crap, Oakland might be for real, blah blah blah, and then they get blown out for 28 straight.
I mean, they've had their moments, but I mean, I like Tyrell Williams as a number 1 receiver. I think he's slept on in the league just because he was in
Chargers. He was with the Chargers, and he was the number 3, even with Travis Benjamin, even the 4, I guess, and then Mike Williams, Keenan Allen. It's like the guy never really got his opportunity to shine, and the whole Antonio Brown situation, now he gets his opportunity to shine. He's proving that he can be number 1 receiver in this league.
Yeah. I mean, Oakland certainly could have something.
He's doing a better job than Juju is, in my opinion.
Yeah, he is right now.
But, and then, I don't know. Their defense looks a lot better than people think. I don't know. It kind of sucks that they lose their first-round pick.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, they're just a giant question mark. I mean,
but I can see them pushing for that. I mean, the Chargers loss to the Lions, that's going to come back and bite them.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? Maybe they could actually place in second in this division.
That's what I'm saying.
It's very possible. I
would never put them above the Chiefs.
No,
but
nobody can go above the Chiefs.
I'm comfortable saying they could be above the Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Phillip Rivers after that last game isn't looking too hot. All right, then obviously you had the Bears against Broncos, which I mean, Eddie Pinheiro. Look, we got a kicker. I think I give it to the kid.
Can we pay our kicker and not our quarterback?
I mean, you can.
Can we just kick on every possession? How about that?
That would be nice. Although I do have to say I think with what we've seen so far, I mean, I don't know. I don't really know how much you can really sell me on this at this point.
Just imagine if the defense was just average.
Yeah.
This team would be 0-16 every year.
Probably. I mean, the defense is definitely going to bail this team out a lot. But, hey, Eddie Pinheiro, I mean, I give it to you, man. 3 for 3. He hit the game-winning field goal, 53-yarder. It was a beautiful hit. I mean, he went 1 for 1 on the extra point. So we only scored the 1 touchdown. By the way, David Montgomery, hats off to you, man. Would have given it to Joe Flacco, but, man, Emmanuel Sanders just went off.
Yeah. The matchup there is Buster Screen in the slot, so that worries me. Buster Screen is burnt toast.
Yeah. All right, so next we've got Rams versus Saints. The Rams pulling it out 27-9. I mean, what? This is another ref game. Look, man,
27-9 can't be decided by the refs.
I'm sorry. This was.
They had no chance after Drew Brees went out.
Not going to not argue with you that the whole Cam Jordan, if you didn't see, Cam Jordan ran one back in for a touchdown, but the refs called it dead way before he even got into the end zone. For whatever reason, it should have counted, I definitely believe, but even after that, the Rams offense was already rolling. I gave it to the 2 wide receivers. I gave it to Michael Thomas. I mean, he played really well for the Saints, even after Drew Brees got hurt. And then, I mean, look, I know Jared Goff threw in the touchdown.
Did you see that Cooper Cup touchdown? That was crazy.
Yeah, it was
like a beast.
It was. I mean, look, the man just knows how to catch the ball like crazy. That's why I picked him. That's why you go for the guy. He's surefire hands every time. Look, man, there's a reason why his last name is Cup. Because those hands, anything can go in those hands, man. I'm telling you. I don't even know if that works. Never mind. Bad joke. All right, bad joke.
He tried.
I tried. All right, I tried to force it. It was terrible. All right, move on. All right. Then we got Falcons, Eagles. Falcons beat the Eagles 24-20. Kind of an ugly game. I mean, Matt Ryan, 3 touchdowns, but also 3 interceptions. Looks like he's way off target this year. I don't know what's going on. Carson Wentz, he got hurt, came back in the game, threw a ball before his knee even hit, which is amazing.
Crazy.
That's crazy that he was able to do that. Yeah.
That was a really cool throw.
But it was a tough game. I mean, Julio Jones with the game-winning touchdown catch was awesome.
Yeah. It was. I don't know. The Falcons, I think their year is next year. Not in terms of Super Bowl, but if they get an offensive line from Matt Ryan, I think they could do some real damage.
Yeah,
I mean, they got all the weapons in the world.
That's the one thing the pressure's coming in on.
Is Ito Smith going to take over for Devontae Freeman?
He might. If they're not going to go, well, I don't know what C.J. Anderson's status is at this point because I know the Lions just cut him. I don't know if anybody's picked him up just yet.
No.
But if he's still out there, I would say for the Falcons, take a shot with him because he can catch the ball out of the backfield too. And he's I know he's more of a hammer back. He's more of your straightforward running through the gap kind of guy.
Right.
But to replace Devonta Freeman, I mean, you got to find, I think, a two-back system that'll balance it out. And maybe Smith does take part of the carries, but I'd say to get that extra balance from veteranship, go for C.J. Anderson if he is still out there, which I believe he still is. So,
yeah, he is.
Yeah. So, but overall, I mean, good go for the Falcons again. Julio Jones.
The Eagles would be a good trade candidate for Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, I mean, look, right, and like you said, at this point, protect your quarterback, man. I mean, you got all these weapons for him to use, and if he can't get the ball to them, we're gonna have issues.
Right.
Also, I need him to play well, so come on.
And talking about protecting your quarterback, going back to that Broncos game.
Yeah.
What's that kid's name? He was holding Khalil Mack all day. All day, and
I believe it was not Bowles.
Garrett Bowles.
Yeah,
Garrett Bowles.
Bowles.
Yeah, Garrett Bowles. The announcer was having a field day on him.
Oh yeah.
He was like, he made one reference. He was like, the Bears are Beta House, and they want to. I don't know. They said something about that. I don't know.
Yeah,
the Bears are Delta House, and Garrett Bowles is not invited. I don't know, something like that. It was funny. But
Garrett
that
Bowles
guy
couldn't
just looks
hold
awful.
Yeah.
And when you got like pass rushers like that, you're not gonna have a chance. And yeah.
Yeah, this was a rough one, but good win for the Falcons. Just protect the QB guys, and then of course Monday night, or excuse me, Jimmy. Yeah, I forgot. Sorry, Cardinals and Ravens. Ravens were able to take the win, 23-17. Kyler Murray, I mean, he didn't throw a touchdown, but he threw for 349 yards. I gave it to him as MVP of the game for the Cardinals. I mean, look, right now he's making Larry Fitzgerald look like he's 10 years younger. I mean, they've got a good connection. I think although I'm pretty sure that Kyler Murray's going, who am I going to throw the ball to? Oh, Larry Fitzgerald's open. I mean, it's that, and also
he just knows how to get open. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Christian Kirk showed some flashes.
Well, and that's the thing is that him and Christian Kirk have that connection because they both were at Texas A&M, at least for the short time that they were together. So they have a little bit of chemistry there from college that's passed over to college.
Yep.
So, I mean, and he is looking better, and I think they found their future, not star wide receiver, but their next guy. But
yeah,
Lamar Jackson, he could be unstoppable at this point. I mean, he's got his downfield threat weapon. He's making every throw possible. He's running over people.
I like what I've seen a lot. I
Yeah.
really do. It's just another thing with the 49ers situation. It's just
Cool it down.
Slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I think his biggest test is now going against Kansas City this week.
Oh yeah.
If he can
that is
keep
going
up
to be
with
the
that
matchup.
firepower. If he
Yeah.
can keep up with that firepower, okay, maybe he's legit. I mean, Kansas City's defense isn't that great, but he's going to have Chris Jones, Frank Clark coming at him, and then Tyrann Mathieu, a ball hawk safety.
Right.
And,
And they're not going to
it's
make
going to
it
be a tough matchup.
They're not going to make it easy for Marquise Brown to just get wide
No.
open. So
Although I do think he does burn them at least once.
Oh yeah. I give like at least a 60-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
I mean, but right now the Ravens are rolling. I mean, and with the Steelers out, with Ben Roethlisberger looking like he's going to be out forever, maybe, who knows? I mean, I think that's the Ravens' time to shine and start winning the division. So
They're going to wrap that up.
yeah. And last but not least, we've got Browns 23, Cleveland Browns 23 against the New York Jets 3.
Odell Beckham Jr. is the GOAT.
He's a heck of a receiver. But overall, I mean, the Jets could have easily won this game. They had time of possession, third down conversion, better completion rating, no turnovers either. I mean, they were just playing all the way better.
That was about to score a touchdown, and then you got that ball punched out.
If he makes that first down, I believe it's the third quarter. If he converts on the first down off the swing pass, if I'm remembering this correctly, if he gets that, momentum's on the Jets' side. And they could possibly go in the end zone or at least kick a field goal.
Yeah.
Because it was 16-3 at that point, so it's
Yeah.
either a 10-point game or now you're closing the gap even more
Yep.
so. So
Baker didn't look that good. I mean, I'm not going to say that he's not good, but he needs to figure it out. He's got all these weapons around him. He needs to figure out how to use them.
right now he's got 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions in the first 2 games.
Yeah, so
not exactly good. And not only that, but this team, you can tell, losing Kevin Zeitler, having that no protection on the offensive line. I mean,
David Njoku is not only wasn't in concussion protocol, but now he has a wrist injury that he might have to have surgery for, and he might be out.
Right. So, I mean, you're losing another big weapon in the red zone that you desperately need. I mean, look, can Mayfield still air it out to Beckham Jr. and Jarvis Landry? Sure, but what happens when those two guys are going to be covered one-on-one? Maybe not always with the best corners, but if they're covered
that's the
fairly
thing
well,
I like,
what are you going to do?
I like their depth. Rashard Higgins is proven to be a pretty decent receiver, and then also Antonio Callaway coming back from the suspension will be a nice little sneaky slot receiver, deep threat. So
Right.
I like their depth at receiver. It's not, it's just a matter of Baker knowing how to use them.
Yeah.
And also Freddie Kitchens' play calling is pretty brutal.
That's my biggest thing is like I'm not hating on the Browns. I don't think anybody really wants to hate on this team. I think people want to have this team go out there and like look fun because we want to see Cleveland actually be good for a change. But I think the problem is there's an overhype in this. It's a first-year coach who's never been a head coach a day in his life, and now you're putting him in this situation and saying, okay, now you have to go play a full NFL, or you have to coach a full NFL season.
This is my beef with him.
Yeah.
There's 2 minutes left. You're up. The final was 23-3.
Yeah.
You're up 23-3, and you have Nick Chubb.
Right.
Why are you not giving him the ball?
Yeah.
You are throwing the ball on third and 1 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you not running the ball? You just
kill the
literally
clock.
all you have to do is kill the clock.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do that. I ended up losing by 0.2 in fantasy because Nick Chubb didn't get one more carry.
Really?
One more carry.
Yeah.
There was 3 minutes left in the game, and he can't get one more carry.
Yeah. See, and that's the hard thing.
Unbelievable.
Well, and that's the thing is that he was asked about that in the press conference. I saw the aftermath of it. And he also reported today that in a conference, too, that he says Nick Chubb will get his carries. He will get more carries. He will get more time to see the ball, which hopefully is true because I did see that part, and I was thinking, just kill the game. You've got one of the best, probably, I would say, top 10 maybe, top 15 running back. I mean, he's up and coming. He certainly has that skill set. And you're not going to run the ball with him? You've seen what he can do.
Right.
When you give him a chance. I know the offensive line isn't that great, but you know what he can do. He's still a great running back.
Yep.
So, I don't know. To me, I thought we saw two teams that weren't really on par. I think they're both going to have to figure some things out. So, it's going to be tough. But, yeah, guys, there's your overall C of the NFL season. I thought, honestly, for week 2, if I could grade it out, I'd say I'd give it B- again. F, you're going to give it an F? Yeah. Okay, that's fine. What would you say, Tyler? What are you giving it? If you could grade it, what would you say?
Just based on all the quarterback injuries and stuff, it's getting kind of hard to watch for some teams.
Yeah.
I don't want to jinx myself, but I don't have any fantasy shares of any players that have a quarterback out. So.
Well, lucky you.
That's we're looking
some
good.
of us do, Some of us have to bear that burden.
We're looking good.
Though some of us
I
have the
do
ability
have
to
one
put them on
because I have an
injury
inept
reserve,
quarterback of Chicago Bears, and Allen Robinson is getting hurt by that.
Oh, jeez. Taking another shot while you're still here, man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let us
That
know.
was a big Mitch Trubisky truther, too.
Yeah, I know. He doesn't have the Trubisky jersey. He has the Pinero jersey.
I do have a Trubisky jersey.
Oh, do you?
It's white.
He's not giving you don't need any more jerseys. Shut up. All right. Tyler.
You can have it for $20. That's about all he's worth.
He'll pay for it with the $20.
I hope
if
he proves me
wins
wrong.
this one.
All right, but going back to Mr. Trubisky, one last thing.
Yeah.
If he doesn't torch this Washington Redskins football team, and he's not good in prime time, so I don't see it happening. But if he doesn't torch them on Monday Night Football in Washington, which FedEx Field is not a hard place to play, I'm done with them.
Okay.
Like, that team is awful. They've given up 600 yards plus in 2 games.
Josh Norman does not look the same, that's for
Josh
sure.
Norman has had one good year. That dude was the most overblown thing ever.
Thank you. Finally, somebody
And he was
else
surrounded by a good defense.
Yes. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, the truth comes out. Josh Norman, not a good quarterback for the NFL. All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, let us know what you guys thought about NFL Week 2. How would you grade it out? What did you like? What did you dislike? All that good stuff. We want to hear from you guys on that. Tyler, thank you so much, man, for joining us here.
Thanks
It
for
was
having
great
me,
to
as
finally
always.
have you back. Please stop wandering into the Serengeti before. I'm afraid you're going to come back, and it's just going to be like the long beard and everything. Yeah. He's going to come back with like the 10 – yeah, something like what Tom had way back in the day. He's going to come back with like the 10 commandments of like fantasy football or something
I've
like that.
seen the light.
Yeah. Go with C.J. McCaffrey, number 1 always, no matter what. That'll be first
No.
on the list or something. There you go.
Barkley all day, every day.
There you go. That's what's up. All right, Tyler, where can they find you, man?
You can find me on Twitter at Tyler Dillon, at TYLERRDYLANN, as well as we do the Putting Up Points radio show. Yeah, it is trash. Occasionally on Saturdays,
Yes.
from 12 to 2. Life is kind of hard. I'm just going to throw that out there. But yeah, so 12 to 2 on Saturdays, and then I'm a contributor to Unwrapped Sports, and I've been doing these Sportscaster streams. You can find me on Sportscaster at TPricketUSN. I do them twice a week, and just anything NFL, fantasy football related, or anything like that. So you can check those out, and I always repost them on my Twitter. So please check those out. I would really appreciate that.
Yeah, guys, definitely go check out his stuff. He does a really good job. I've seen your podcast, everything, the Chain Gang and all that. I've seen the stuff you do on Sportscaster. Really good stuff, man. Keep it up. Really good. And obviously, make sure to check him out here. I mean, whenever he is here, like I said, and not wandering the deserts and stuff. What, man? You
Throwing
did it to
daggers
yourself.
at me.
Yeah. And then, sometimes you can catch him on Putting Up Points with Jake Bradley, his co-host.
Catch me.
Yes. Definitely go check him out.
I would like to get some clout real quick, though. I called the Antonio Brown not only where he was going to end up, but the exact contract.
So did Pat McAfee, so I mean.
But I said it first.
You know what? We'll give you both a tie. How about that? You and the former Colts punter can get a tie.
Yo, Pat,
okay.
Square up.
Okay, you heard that. You heard that, Pat McAfee. We're challenging you, baby.
For the brand.
Yeah, exactly. For the brand. All right, yeah, but definitely go check these guys out. Putting Up Points every Saturday on SportsTownChicago.com or at the Sportstown Chicago Facebook page if you guys want to see the live stream. They do a really good job, guys. Again, sometimes when they're there, but hopefully you guys will be there this weekend.
That's a plan.
That's the plan right now. So
that's the plan.
Definitely go check them out. And when we come back, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be talking more here for the Chicago Bears and Denver Broncos, kind of breaking it down a little bit more. Plus, we've got college football talk we've got to get to, of course. And as you can probably, if you didn't hear that one, Tom gave his little woo there. So we'll be right back here on the X-Bomb Sports Live Show.
LSU.
Don't go anywhere.
Man, I'm so hungry. I need somewhere to eat fast. I have no idea where to go.
Psst. Hola, me llamo El Taco de Taco. You know where to go for the amazing taste that'll have you craving more? Taco Bell.
Can I get 20 tacos, please?
You got it.
Thanks, Taco.
De nada.
Good. That's it. Eat the tacos.
Taco Bell. Live más.
Show. My name is still Andrew Valentin, your 2-0 host and leading right now in the X-Bombs Productions bragging rights, fantasy football, of course. You can give me that little bird all you want. It don't matter. You know what's up. I'm just actually bragging myself right now.
Remember that.
Yeah, I know. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are officially back, and with me, of course, is the man himself, who's wearing green, gray, and orange. My God, pick a color, will you already?
Work hat, work shirt, sunglasses, I wear to work.
All right, Mr. Tom McKinney. Tom, how you doing, man?
I'm ready to just bash all the Trubisky haters out there because I think they're dummies.
I
I
mean-
think they're all wrong. And I found Joe DiGiacomo Jr.
Yes, you already told me that. But yeah, this whole obviously we're gonna pour into it now with the Chicago Bears, Denver Broncos game for Week 2. Let's get this one started. Obviously, we kind of talked about it a little bit here with me and Tyler. The Bears being able to pull out the victory, 16-14 here against Denver, with Eddie Pinheiro kicking the game-winning field goal, the 53-yarder, to be able to take the victory. Now, Tom, obviously, there were some good things that we saw in this game, and there was some bad stuff. So I want to know, what were some of the highlight things that you saw that were good, and what were some of the bad things that you saw come from the game?
I saw the Bears defense once again being held left and right. So those are some of the bad things from the officiating. I start calling. That's just around the whole league. Let's just be honest. It was a terrible weekend for officiating. I saw people tweeting on Twitter about bring back the replacement refs. I'm like, they might have a point because it got things done.
Yeah, I mean, but it didn't look pretty. That's the problem.
No, it didn't look
So-
pretty because it cost me a fantasy win that year with the goddamn Golden Tate catch.
Hey, man, they said it was a catch.
It wasn't a catch!
God, Jesus. Why do we even stir the pot there? Okay, so what other positives were you, so that's a negative you saw.
That's a negative,
So-
but it wasn't on any of the teams. It was
Right.
on the it was more on the officiating, which I've noticed around the whole league.
Yes.
And there's some good things I saw. Obviously, the running game. They still need to figure out who their true running back is. I think they need to go with the route I have been saying. You have David Montgomery be your all-in-all running back, and then you go into Tree Cohen as your passing running back or your receiving running back, plus your kickoff and punt return specialist. He's
Yeah.
way better than Devin Hester was at receiving.
Yeah.
So you can clearly get away with that. And then I'm going with
Mike Davis.
Mike Davis
Yeah.
as your third down, short yardage, and red zone running back.
Yeah.
Goal line running back. I think that's the route you need to go.
Mm-hmm.
I think you need to stick with that, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. I will say this for David Montgomery. We kind of noted it before. 18 carries, 62 yards, and a touchdown for this man. He was able to get it done for Chicago. Certainly. He looked really good. I think he can be the focal point of this team. I know Cordell Patterson had 2 carries for 50 yards himself as well. But, overall, I'm kind of in that same lane where, look, David Montgomery right now looks like the all-down every back. I know he doesn't have exactly the blazing speed that Tariq Cohen has, but for what you see from this guy and what you can get out of him, he breaks a lot of tackles. He doesn't go down easy. He doesn't die easy. That's a quote from Walter Payton. You don't die easy. Don't go down after the first hit. He keeps fighting for yards, and that's something that you really need from your running back, and that's something that Montgomery really brings to the table. And that's also something that Cohen also brings to the table, even though he's a little bit smaller, and he's more of a speed back in his own right. But, the running game, I thought, it definitely was better. It definitely definitely improvements. Overall, the defense, again, they had some pretty good moments. Roquan Smith looks like he's on his making his next steps up. Danny Trevathan's still holding it down in the middle too with him. Khalil Mack finally got his first sack as well. So that's another big positive there. The defense still looks like it's really good, but obviously, let's just get into it. Like the passing game, right? Mitch Trubisky, 16 for 27. Okay, not too bad. 120 yards, not good. No touchdowns. And I understand that Denver has some pretty good defenders. They have some pretty good corners. They got some decent safety help there too. But I'm still seeing a lot of the same impulse stuff that I've seen in the past. And that's just I'm not buying into that. I'm sorry. It's just I still see the throw out. Look, man, I know you don't want to hear it. And I know you want to be all gung-ho for the Bears, but I got to be impartial on this, man. I can't have it anymore with this off the back foot throws. I can't take it with the stare down the wide receivers. I understand the offensive line's not maybe helping out as much as they should, but he's either got to slow things down and Matt Nagy's got to make the play calling simpler, which certainly has to happen, but he also has to take away the tendencies that he's been having since his rookie year. And it's been the throwing off the back foot. He always wants to lunge back there like he's Aaron Rodgers and try and arc the ball up there for Allen Robinson and Taylor Gabriel, which isn't always going to happen because while they're fast, they're not always going to be that fast coming off of their routes.
But if he throws off his back foot, then you work with him to make it. You don't work with him. That's how he's going to do it. It's just like a pitcher in baseball. Look at what the Orioles.
But you can't have him throwing off his back foot.
Hold on.
Yeah.
You look at what the Orioles tried to do with Jake Arrieta, and let me ask you this: did it work out for the Orioles with Jake Arrieta? No, it did not.
Not really. No.
No, it did not. Jake Arrieta came to the Cubs. The Cubs go, throw the way you want to throw. We're just going to tweak you a little bit here and there, but your mechanics are still going to be the same. Let's see. The man's a World Series champion, has a Cy Young.
You can't compare those, though. He had so much more support on that.
Yes, but you need to give him the same amount of support because if you don't, you're going to lose him.
But you can't be a quarterback and be throwing off your back foot.
Why can't you?
Because every time you do that, the ball's taking a higher arc, and that's more of a chance for an interception. And that means he's probably going to throw 20 interceptions. We saw this with Rex Grossman, who threw off his back foot quite a bit. And every time he did that...
But he didn't have a quarterback coach like what Nagy is. If Nagy's going to work with him, you say, if you're going to throw off your back foot, you're going to learn how to throw off your back foot without the arch.
If Nagy's an actual coach in this, then he has to say, step into the throws. Because I'm telling you right now, when Trubisky steps into his throws, they look really good. And he hits his guys on the money then.
But it's
when he comes, you have to sometimes change it. Okay, so you say the whole thing with Jake Arrieta. Okay, throw the way you want to throw, right? Lucas Giolito, the same thing. What about Javier Baez with his swing? You had to change his swing. He had to change his swing.
You had to change it enough, but he is still a bad ball hitter. Vladimir Guerrero and his son are the same way. They are bad ball hitters, and people have tried to change Guerrero and Junior. And how has that turned out? How did that turn out for Guerrero? He's a Hall of Famer. Well, how did that turn out for Junior? He was home run runner up. He's probably going to win Rookie of the Year. He'll probably be a Hall of Famer if his career keeps going the way it is. I mean, Javier, they tweaked it enough to where they got him to stop swinging at a lot of pitches that were way out of the strike zone that he had been swinging out, but he's still a bad ball hitter swinging at bad pitches.
Yeah, but his batting, his swing is no longer as bad as it once was.
No, it wasn't.
It was a jerky, bad move.
Yes, and they did the same thing with Vladimir Guerrero and said, fine, if you want to be a bad ball hitter, be a bad ball hitter, but you're going to do it this way and this way only. And what did it do? Put him in the Hall of Fame. What's it going to do if you change Trubisky too much, too quickly, as fast as you want?
At this point, he's in his third year. You have to make those changes, or else he's going to just be an average quarterback.
For everybody out there who says, oh, he's in his third year. Technically, this is year 2.5 because he played half of his rookie season. Now, people are saying, well, the experts in the NFL says, well, he played his rookie season. No, he played half of his rookie season because he played what? Yes, he came in week 5.
Week 5 or week 6.
Okay, I understand. 16-game season, whatever. But for a quarterback coming in, it's a half of a season to me because John Fox was on the way out. We all knew that. So John Fox leaves, we get Nagy. Nagy goes out and says, this is what we're going to do. This is the game plan. We're going to go out and do this. Boom. Yep, we got this. And that's exactly what they did last year. Nagy comes out this year, and he went a route that I didn't agree with, that he set Trubisky all preseason. He should not have done that. You should have played Trubisky the first half of almost every game, or at least the first quarter of the first game, the first 2 quarters of the second game, then go quarter 1 through 3, and then sit him the last game. I have no problem if you don't want to play him the last game, but by week 3 of the preseason, he has to play 3 full quarters.
Look, I agree with you on that. He should have definitely played some in the preseason for sure.
And that's what's hurting him right now.
That's not the only issue that we've had, because we've seen this even from last year. Those 12 interceptions he had last year, again, throwing off the back foot because he's trying to arc the ball up there. You can't have that. Like 7 of those interceptions because he was dropping back and because all of a sudden he decides he's going to come from back here instead of stepping into his throw like he should have. When he stepped into his throw, he had touchdown after touchdown.
I have no problem, and I applauded Nagy for what he said. He would rather Trubisky throw 1 million interceptions and learn from those mistakes. Because those are teaching points. Those are teaching points. So all those are teaching points when he throws an interception. They go back and watch film and be like, this is what you're doing wrong. And he breaks down. I guarantee Monday he broke down everything. And now he has an extra day to break down still everything. They have an extra day to break down the Redskins defense and their tendencies. And I guarantee Monday night we will have a different Trubisky out there showing us a different form. And he won't look like the Trubisky we want him to look like, but he will look like a Trubisky that will keep all the freaking dummies out there who don't know what they're talking about half the time and just want to talk from the fan side of it and don't look at the side. He is still a young quarterback who is learning the game. Yes, I have said the Bears could be the Super Bowl champions this year, but that's partially me being a Bears super fan. Like, of course I'm going to say I want the Bears to win the Super Bowl. I'm going to say that every year. I think the Cubs are going to win the World Series this year. I think the Blackhawks are going to win the Stanley Cup. That's another topic I don't want to get into right now. We will eventually.
Yes.
Because hockey's 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
Yes. But like I can go out and say that the Bulls will never be an NBA champion with the ownership they have right now. But as soon as that ownership goes away, we'll talk. And the White Sox need to tweak a lot.
Yeah.
But I am going to always say the Bears are going to be a Super Bowl champion. I said the same thing about the Browns, but that's just because I want to see Baker win, and I want to prove my dad wrong in the sense and have a running quarterback win a Super Bowl. Though I have my reasons behind what I say a lot of the times. But I don't think the Bears are going to win the Super Bowl this year. I don't think the Bears are going to win the Super Bowl next year. I think they're still going to be a playoff team this year. I think they'll be a playoff team next year. I think 3-4 years, yes, Super Bowl, maybe a Super Bowl loss, then a Super Bowl champion. Hold on. But Trubisky by year 4 next year, or his quote unquote for everybody else, year 4.
That would be technically his 3rd year because the less I would say subtract away John Fox's because
so
this
you're
is
on
two.
the same boat. So
That's what I'm saying is the 2 years he's now had with Nagy.
this is year 2.
This is year 2 with him. So by next year, because I'm always the 3-year guy with these guys. If next year, if we do not see, I'm saying like 30 touchdowns with like 10 interceptions, something in the line of what we saw kind of with Kirk Cousins and a playoff appearance. If we don't see
he has the playoff appearance.
I'm saying no 5th-year option, and even then, I would still say be suspect on giving him the 5th-year option. Maybe let him play it out.
I'm saying give him the 5th-year option because again, me being the big college guy, there's going to be a lot of quarterbacks coming up here very soon. Not just this year, not just next year, but by his 5th year, there's going to be a lot of good quarterbacks coming out. So you got to always keep an eye on what you got there. If Trubisky, we did the same thing with Kevin White, and I think Kevin White got the short end of the stick. He just couldn't stay healthy.
I'm sorry. He couldn't stay healthy.
He just couldn't stay healthy. He had the potential to be one of the great receivers. Not the greatest, but a great receiver in the league.
He could have been a good receiver, I think.
A great receiver in the league if he could have stayed healthy. That was his problem. If he could have stayed healthy, he would have been a great weapon for Trubisky. That's fine. But again, he would have been a great receiver with just 2 routes because they would have kept the playbook simple for him with Trubisky.
But the problem is that Trubisky doesn't throw the deep ball a lot.
No, he doesn't. But it would have given him that option.
And that's the problem.
It would have given him that option to be able to throw that deep ball if he needed to.
But this is where, like with Kevin White, you can say, okay, you only run 2 routes. And it's like, yeah, but you're a lot more effective when you're able to do multiple things. Look at Antonio Brown. He could have easily just been the one go route kind of guy. He was that kind of wide receiver when he came out of college. And instead, he's like, no, I'm going to break. I'm going to learn how to do the curl and the hitches and all that stuff. And now look at how effective he can actually be as a wide receiver. Granted, look at who he was playing with. Yes, okay. But still, imagine if he was just the one-trick pony. One-trick ponies don't last very long.
No, they don't.
Tyreek Hill, look at him right now. He just got hurt. One-trick ponies, they can look good for a while, but eventually they're going to get hurt, or eventually they're going to start to burn themselves out.
You're right. One-trick ponies don't last very long.
So you have to start to change those tendencies little by little.
They don't last. One-trick ponies don't last long in any league.
Right.
Any sport, doesn't matter. But for Trubisky's sake, you're saying simplify the offense. Kevin White would have been a perfect weapon for him. Yes, he has 2 routes, but that gives him 2 routes that he knows Kevin White's going to be running all the time. and you have potential to throw that ball deep if you need
Same
to.
for the defense, though. They're going to know what
Yes.
he's going to be doing then.
What?
That's the thing, is that Allen Robinson, look at what he does. He does the multiple route situation, and he's able to beat guys very easily because of that. Yeah.
I get that. But what I'm saying is, for everybody out there, they need to stop bashing Trubisky. And Joe Alexander, I'm calling you out right now. You are a Joe DiGiacomo Jr. when it comes to social media and talking about a Chicago-based team. Jesus Christ. There were, what, you say 40 Facebook posts in a span of 5 minutes
I mean, I
about
saw-
how bad Trubisky was?
I saw a lot of them.
First off, it wasn't entirely Trubisky's fault that that game was that way. Penalties. How many? I can't find it. I don't know if you were able to find it at all.
Yeah.
Maybe Tyler can find it and let us know by the end of the show. But how many penalties have the Bears have had in their first 2 weeks? Is more than what they had last year. These refs are calling everything and anything. They are not letting these players play.
Yeah.
They are not allowing anything to go by. Yet they're not willing to call holding when Khalil Mack is clearly being held. There is picture evidence, video evidence against the Packers of Khalil Mack being held all game. There is video and picture evidence of Khalil Mack being held all game against the Broncos. And I guarantee there's going to be picture and video evidence of Khalil Mack being held, and Akeem Hicks and Leonard Floyd and whoever else you want to throw on that defense rushing Case Keenum going to be held all game long. And how many penalties do you think they're going to call on holding? This many. Like they have called the last 2 weeks.
So the Bears have 17 penalties in total. 10 from the Packers, where they had 170 yards of total penalty yardage. And that was against the Packers. And for the Broncos, they had 7 penalties called on them for 65
penalties.
yards.
17 penalties in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous amount of penalties to be called. I'm not saying all of them aren't worthy.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the offsides on the missed field goal that probably would have sealed it and not needed that drive that Mitch
But remember,
Trubisky threw.
a
Hold
penalty
on.
also saved the game for the Bears.
Yes, it did.
Bradley Chubb's so-called, which that was not roughing the passer, I'll tell you
Okay.
right now. But if that call doesn't happen, Eddie Piñeiro's not in field goal range to hit that kick.
I understand that. There have been penalties that have saved us. There's been penalties that have hurt us.
Yeah.
I'm really going back to the one penalty in Week 1 against the Packers where, who was it? Allen Robinson? No, it's Trey Burton, right? Who supposedly pushed off.
No, that was Taylor Gabriel.
Oh, Taylor, thank you.
Taylor
Taylor
Gabriel.
Gabriel, my bad. It's been so long.
Yeah.
Who supposedly pushed off. I understand this is pass interference on the offense. He had his arm extended. But when he barely touches him like this, why is that being called? Just let him play. Like
Because he pushed off.
But you.
He did push
hold-
off.
Barely though.
But it was enough, and that's the thing.
But
If it's
here's my whole point.
The refs they were going to make that call.
I understand that, but here's my whole point. You are telling kids to just go out and play the game, have fun. These guys are going out there. Yes, they're going out there because this is what they need to be doing for a living. This is what they're good at for a living. I doubt these guys could be doing our jobs. I highly doubt it. Who knows? Maybe they can. Maybe some of these guys can.
Probably. I'm going to say yes.
I don't know, dude. My job's pretty hard.
So, yeah, they could probably do my job pretty damn easy.
Okay.
I'll bet you that.
But these guys don't want to work normal jobs, obviously. They're really
Right.
good at what they do. They're making millions and millions of dollars, which they deserve. They play 1 day a week. But we teach these kids now to go out and have fun, play the game. Yes, play the game the right way.
Yeah.
But at the same time, go out and play. Just play.
Right.
But you go and show them, oh, this is a penalty when I barely touch you. I could understand if he literally forcefully. He looked like he more put his hand out to sort of stop him from stepping on him.
But they're still going to look at that and say,
I
oh,
understand that. But this is where, and Tony Dungy said it, this whole pass interference thing has come back to bite the NFL in the butt because coaches don't want to challenge it because they're not sure what is going to be considered pass interference now.
Yeah.
And the refs are afraid to call it and or will call it because they think it's pass interference, but it turns out not to be pass interference.
I mean, that's just going to be
It's
going to be
gonna-
the age-old argument forever now.
Yeah, what's a
It's-
catch? We've had
Right.
that argument forever.
We're going to talk about what the penalty
What's
is.
a
and all
goal?
that stuff.
What's a home run? We've had those all the time.
Right.
What's a three-pointer?
I mean, look.
Or what's a travel?
At the end of the day, the Bears probably shouldn't have won this game.
No,
the
they
fact that
probably shouldn't.
The fact that they did is great. Look, Eddie Pinheiro, again, I give him credit.
Again, though,
Kid looks really awesome. He looks like he's going to be solid. I think we may have a guy, but
here's the other thing. It is Mile High Stadium. A lot of these guys have never have played in Mile High Stadium before or never played in Mile High Stadium before.
Right.
And if they have, it might not have been for a few years.
Yeah.
The elevation does get to these guys. You could clearly see it when Khalil Mack was taking plays off. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But for everybody out there who says, oh, this game should have been a bigger blowout for the Bears, they should have blown them out, elevation plays a key factor. Just ask the Rockies how many home runs they hit in the 90s.
Yeah, it's, I mean.
And then ask them how many home runs they hit on the road.
Yeah, look, playing in Denver is never easy. I mean, everybody always complains about how tiring it can be because of the high elevation and stuff like that. So, I mean, look, to the Bears' credit, at least they were able to play out. They balled out, and they had some good plays. But Tyler kind of said it. If next week against the Washington Redskins we don't see a bigger change out of him, I know you say he's in preseason mode, but if by next week we are not seeing a 3-4 touchdown performance with over 300 yards.
You're asking for too much.
I'm not asking for a lot here. I'm asking for a starting quarterback. Here's the thing.
You're asking for three
I'm
touchdowns.
asking for.
Hold on. You're asking for 3 touchdowns when a lot of these quarterbacks aren't throwing for 3 touchdowns.
A lot of them are, if you really look at it. A lot of them are throwing multiple touchdowns.
Multiple touchdowns.
It's not,
but not 3-4 touchdowns. They're throwing 2 touchdowns.
But for a number 2 overall pick. Remember that. This kid was the number 2, which he should not have been, a number 2 overall pick by the Bears. If you're going to make that move, you better be able to get that kind of production of him, which is a 2, 3, 4 touchdown performance against a bad team for 300+ yards. That is exactly the kind of performance you need against a bad team.
But the Redskins aren't going to be a bad team. It's Monday night. It is in FedEx Stadium. The Bears are going to go out. I think they're going to win. I think Trubisky's going to throw two touchdowns with maybe an interception, and he's going to throw for at least 250 yards.
I need more out of that.
Why do you need more out of it?
Because I need to see that he's going to be an elite quarterback. If he's not going to be an elite quarterback, then we got to change. We might need to think of a change.
What you're asking for is you're asking for 3 touchdowns with 300+ yards. Hold on. And you're asking for a lot, and you're saying it's not a lot, but it is. You got to look at what? Exactly. You're asking for a quarter.
I'm asking him to validate the reason why we took him so high.
2 touchdowns and 250 yards is reasonable. That's what I want to see out of him this coming week.
I need to see more.
So you're looking at where I'm looking. Why do you want him to throw more than?
I need to see.
But you got to look at. But you want to look at how he threw those balls. That's the whole thing. You got to look at how he's throwing those balls. If those are all beautiful passes and the 2 touchdowns are outstanding touchdown passes, and he doesn't throw another touchdown the rest of the game?
If that is the reason why because he needs to be the reason why we win this game, okay?
Exactly.
If he is the reason why we win this game, then yes. If he is just a afterthought because for some reason the Redskins are keeping up with us, and then all of a sudden it comes down to Pinheiro again and he kicks it, we can say, oh, he had a good game. But if he's not the reason why we are winning this game, then I have a problem with that. So if it is 2 touchdowns, but we have to rely on like Montgomery to run the next 2 in or whatever, and then Pinheiro to kick the field goal to win it, I got a problem with that. I need to see him to be an elite quarterback.
All right, whatever. Let's go talk college football.
Yeah, all right. I mean, look, you guys can let us know what do you think is going to happen between. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. There's something needs to change in that aspect.
There's been a lot of penalties being called in the NFL. Yeah.
They've had a bad crew the last 2 weeks. Go look at how many times Khalil Mack's been held. Exactly. There's evidence of it.
All right. Well, you guys can let us know what you think about the Chicago Bears. What do you think is going to happen against the Washington Redskins? You guys can predict your scores down below. Let us know what you guys think. All right. Excuse me. Moving away from there, we're going to finish this one up with college football really quickly because we got to get out of here very soon.
Real quick, the Notre Dame-Georgia game this weekend is the 4th highest ticket price, and it's only skyrocketing.
Yeah.
The number 1 is in 2017, December 2nd, 2017, Georgia-Auburn, which was the SEC championship game, was $784 for the average ticket.
Yeah.
The next one was actually it was a year later, Georgia-Alabama in the 2018 SEC championship game was $655. Then Georgia at Notre Dame on September 9th, 2017 was $619. This coming Saturday, 9/21/19. By the way, no one contacted me during the 7 o'clock time frame. It's $611, and the lowest and then the top 5 was 9/2/2017, which is the Chick-fil-A kickoff in Atlanta between Alabama and FSU, where we know Alabama just ran over FSU.
Yeah.
Was just $1 under $600.
So if you have a car payment that you don't want to take, definitely go buy a ticket then. If you're that kind of
If
a
I
crazy.
had the money, I'd be in Athens, Georgia Friday, and there'd be a College Game Day holding a big X-Bomb sign up for us.
Thank you.
Marketing, dude.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I'd be at the game holding X-Bomb Sports Rules.
Thank you. That'd be great. Yeah. So the last couple weeks we haven't been able to really talk about it, but the rankings are finally out. We'll run through these really fast. Top 4: Clemson, Alabama, Georgia, LSU in that reel. Then you've got Oklahoma at number 5, OSU at number 6, Ohio State, Notre Dame at 7, Auburn at 8, Florida at 9. Utah has moved up to 10. Michigan has dropped down to 11. Texas has stayed at 12. Then you have Wisconsin they have moved up to 13 with
They'll
Penn
beat
State
Michigan
tied
this
for
week.
them. You have UCF at 15.
Big
They've
win
moved
this
up
weekend,
2.
boys. Big win this past weekend.
Oregon dropped down to 16. Texas A&M is at 17. Iowa's at 18. They moved up. Washington State moved up to 19. Boise State moved up twice to number 20. You have University of Virginia has moved up to 4 spots to 21. You have Washington, who moved up 1 spot to 22. And Cal, Arizona State, and TCU have just entered the rankings at 23, 24, and 25 in that order.
And
so that
BYU
is your
should be on the outside looking in right now.
Yeah, BYU
Honestly,
had a
BYU
great-
should be like 28, 27, or 26.
Which-
because they upset USC, and I hate USC, and it's a glorious day when SC loses. Stanford lost to UCF. UCF is going undefeated this year. They're going to go national championship.
Yeah, that's not happening. But good prediction though. Not gonna happen. But you know,
It should.
we can all
Give them a
dream.
playoff chance. Who cares if they get blown out? I know everybody's going to complain, but give these teams playoff chances.
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
But you can't deny a team a chance. If they go undefeated, and that's your rule for Notre Dame, you basically have to go undefeated or have a 1 loss to a Georgia team to make the chance.
It all comes down to the votes, though. That's the problem, man.
That's what I don't like. You have to start looking at this outside the not Power 5 because you're going to get UCF, you're going to get Boise State, and you're going to get these other schools and be like, fine, we're just going to start FC. You're going to start FBC. They're going to be the FBC, and they're going to have their own college football playoff, and they're going to look way better. Their playoff system is going to be way better than the FBS, and people are going to start watching the FBC. By the way, if that becomes a thing, I'm copywriting that very soon. And it's going to be X-Bomb Sports copyrighted.
I mean, at this point, they might as well extend it either to 8 teams or 6 teams or whatever, and give the first 2 teams. I would say extend it to 6. Give the first 2 teams, number 1 and 2, the bye week. Get the other 2 teams to do a battle off, and
Any
then let's
given day, UCF
let's work from there.
or these mid-majors can go out and beat an Alabama, can
Right.
beat a Georgia, can beat a Clemson, can beat an Oklahoma, can beat an Ohio State, can beat Notre Dame, can beat Michigan, beat anybody in the world. We've
Right.
seen it. Ask Appalachian State. Ha ha ha. Ask North Dakota State. Ask anybody who's gone out and beaten these schools. Illinois State's done it. Southern Illinois has done it once or twice. I mean, U of I's done it. I know U of I's in a Power 5, but let's be honest. Are they really a Power 5
Yeah.
team? Northern's done it plenty of times.
Point is, well, again though, it just comes down to the competition on their schedule. They can play a few tough teams here and there, but if they're not playing tough teams a little bit more often, you know, they got to play more. UCF can be there, but they got to play more ranked teams, and that's the thing.
But that's the problem.
They
with
don't
these
play enough of the
conference
ranked
schedules.
teams.
That's why Notre Dame has the best schedule and one of the toughest schedules usually every year.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, look, man. At the end of the day, the rankings right now they haven't moved yet. I mean, the toughest competitions are yet to come. I mean, Notre Dame is playing Georgia. I mean, and we can just jump into some of these predictions right now.
Real quick, I got the
to kind of end this off.
the bowl
Yeah,
projections.
go for the bowl projections, and
All
then we'll
right,
do this.
So the college football playoff national championship. So I have the first semifinal, which will be the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. I mean, Jesus Chicken Peach Bowl.
Yeah.
Benagaru has Clemson versus Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, he is the only one to have Ohio State in any playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
Schleibach has Clemson versus Alabama. And in the other one, in the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl, Benagaru has Alabama versus Oklahoma, and Schleibach has Georgia versus Oklahoma.
Okay.
Schleibach is the only one to have Georgia in either of the playoff games.
Okay.
In the national championships, Benagaru has Alabama versus Clemson. Schleibach has Clemson versus Georgia.
Okay.
So only one of them has a rematch, which
Yeah.
makes me happy. The makers wanted Bahamas Bowl. Schleibach has Northern Illinois versus North Texas. Benagaru has FAU versus Miami, Ohio. I'm just gonna try to hit as many of the Illinois ones as I can, and then hit the two big ones for us. Tropical Smoothie Cafe Fresco Bowl. That is a mouthful.
Yeah.
Benagaru has Memphis versus Fresno State. Schleibach has SMU Northwestern. I think that's the only Illinois school because all the other ones are trash.
Yeah, everybody else ain't doing too hot
Well,
right now.
and the rest of them are all in FCS.
Yeah,
except for
pretty much.
Levi. The Goodyear Cotton Bowl. Benagaru has UCF at Notre Dame. Schleibach has Notre Dame at UCF.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Capital One Orange Bowl. Benagaru has Virginia versus LSU. Schleibach has Virginia versus Wisconsin.
Okay.
And the other one for LSU, I just had it. There it is.
It better not be that stupid ball.
The All-State Sugar Bowl.
Okay, Sugar Bowl.
Benagaru
There we
has
go.
Texas versus Georgia, which won't be a rematch, but this will be. Schleibach has LSU versus Texas.
Bring it on, baby.
The Rose Bowl, I will throw this one in there because I actually find this interesting matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Benagaru.
That is not even close.
Nope, but I'm throwing it
Not
out there.
even close.
Has Utah versus Wisconsin.
Interesting.
And Schleibach has Ohio State versus Utah.
Interesting.
That's why I threw
Utah's
that.
looking really good
They
right
are,
now.
and that's why I threw it out there because I do want to delve into that eventually.
Yeah.
I'm watching big college football because this week after the show, I'll be home alone all weekend. Big freaking weekend for me. College game days.
So party at
Georgia.
Tom's. if
No,
you-
no one's coming over. I need the house to myself. The puppies are going somewhere else in the house, and I'm gonna have the house quiet.
Until he starts screaming because of what happens
I
to Notre
might
Dame.
get called. The police called on me.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go through some of the predictions real fast before we get out of here, or somebody comes and kicks us out of here. Ready to do this?
Yeah.
All right. We'll start it off with the first game. Number 10, Utah at USC. USC right now 2-1. Utah 3-0.
Utah.
By how much are you thinking? Right now, that Utah's got it 4-point favorites.
I'm going 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns?
Yeah,
Okay.
USC does not look like the same team.
I would say this, at least USC's got a quarterback going right now. I like that kid, Slavis. I think that's how you say his name. He looks decent.
Yeah.
And Amon-Ra St. Brown, I think he's in the next couple of years, he's probably going to be one of the top receivers coming. I mean, that kid has great hands. But I'm feeling this. I'm actually going to say 20-point difference in that one. So I'll give some love to Boise State. Boise State and Air Force, who you got on that one?
I'm going Boise State, but I think that might be a close game.
They're both undefeated right now.
I
so.
can't. I mean, I think it's at Boise State, so it's a night game. It's on ESPN2. That stadium's gonna be bouncing.
Yep.
So I mean, I got to give it to Boise State, but it might be a shootout.
I got it to Boise State, too. I got a 13-point
Can we
difference
talk
on
about
that
the
one.
cupcake game at 11 a.m.?
Which one?
The Southern Mississippi, Alabama. Alabama, go play someone.
Hold on, man. You never know, because you got to remember.
No, that's
Southern
fine.
Southern Myth has beat Alabama before.
That's fine.
And it was with Mr. Brett Favre. Now, I
That's
know they
fine.
don't have Brett Favre, but
That's
don't
fine.
doubt Southern
That's
Miss,
fine.
man.
But see, even LSU has playing someone. Now Vanderbilt's not a great team, but they're still playing someone.
I mean, look, we've only got a 24-point favorite, okay? Alabama's got a 38.5-point favorite.
As of today,
As of
Wednesday
today
at
against-
7:10.
as-
I guarantee by Saturday
probably
at 10
goes up.
o'clock, it's going to be a 1,000,000-point favorite.
But I never look past those small schools, man. If they pull out the upset on Alabama.
I never do. But don't play Citadel. Stop playing Citadel.
Yeah, come on,
Stop
man.
playing Southern Mississippi. You play Southern Mississippi week 1 or week 2. You don't play them week 3. You go out and play conference teams. Go play Georgia. Go play whoever.
You okay?
This is irritating.
You okay?
It's irritating. Come up here and play Notre Dame.
Help. Yeah, guys, if you want to play a really bad team that's in a power conference, you can just play Florida State. Boom! That shot us all.
Exactly. It's still a team.
This is a bad team, though. All right.
It's fine. By the way,
What?
By the way, this one keeps popping up on my side panel real fast.
Yeah.
The College Game Day beer money sign has gotten $36,000
Really?
for charity.
That's great. That's awesome. I love the fact, and it's all going, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, to the Iowa's Children's Hospital. And Busch Beer has also made the announcement that they're going to be matching the entire donation as it comes in. So, yes. So they're going to be matching this donation.
So far, by the way.
Yeah. But that's awesome, too.
Sorry, go back.
All right, so LSU versus Vanderbilt. I've got LSU winning it probably by 21. I know they could probably get an upset on there, but
it isn't Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is known to be a very tough team to play at home.
yeah.
I think LSU wins this by a field goal.
It's possible. I mean, I think it's just
I don't
because of
think
the
it's more than
offense is
possible.
rolling
I
right
think
now.
that's what's going to do it.
Yeah.
I think Vanderbilt's defense is going to show up somehow, and they're going to.
Well, and LSU's defense after that whole Texas matchup was just they have to make huge improvements. So if Vanderbilt gets hot, that could be an issue. Alabama, Southern Miss. I mean, we could go through that,
care about
but
that
yeah. Florida, Tennessee. At Florida, we got them.
Yeah, it's Florida.
Although I will say,
I got them by a touchdown.
I will say though, there could be a chance that Florida gets upset because Felipe Franks now is out for the season.
I got them by a touchdown.
Your starting quarterback out. Yeah, I've got him like 3. I got him at a 3-point. It's on that, I think. So the one of the big matchups is number 11 Michigan against number 13
Wisconsin's going to run all over them. This is not me just saying this as a Notre Dame fan, and me hating Michigan. You guys don't realize I do live with a Michigan fan.
You're gonna marry
yeah.
Michigan.
Literally in a few weeks, it might be me sleeping on the couch. Who knows? We'll see. I might be sleeping in the car.
I might be getting a phone call from Tom being like, "Yo, can I stay at your place?"
I gotta go home for that.
Yeah, there you go.
I got a futon at home if I want.
See, thank God. I have no room, by the way.
Hey, you got a queen size bed.
No.
I don't take up much space.
Yeah, it's beautiful out there.
I think Wisconsin's going to win this game by 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
I think Michigan's defense is struggling. I think that offense, I forget their quarterback, Shea Patterson,
Yeah.
is not who they thought they were getting when he was in Auburn or Ole Miss, wherever
Ole
he came.
Miss.
Ole Miss. I think he's a terrible quarterback. I don't think he'll go high in the draft. I think he'll go 4th or 5th round.
I don't think of that. I think he might even go in free agency.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but I was trying to give him a little bit of benefit of doubt. He has potential.
Yeah.
But he doesn't show it. He doesn't want to show it.
Talk about a fall from grace from a 5-star top recruit in the country. Jeez.
And Army proved their weakness. And that is do whatever you can. Don't quit. Don't quit. Don't quit. And when Notre Dame rolls into the big house in a few weeks, I'm going to be sleeping on the couch.
Yeah. Army, Wisconsin's got a 3.5-point favorite right now.
2 touchdowns.
What Army did show definitely is that their weakness definitely is the run game. And right now, the best running back in the country standing is Jonathan Taylor. And I got a feeling he's probably going to go like 250. I'm thinking 250, 300 yards probably running on the Michigan Wolverines. I'm sorry. Like Tom said, that defense right now, you lose Rashawn Gary, and this is what you're doing? I'm not having it.
The
Sorry,
team's
man.
going to be dismantled. They'll be out of the top 10 in 3 weeks.
And then bye-bye John Harbaugh. Maybe. I don't know.
If he beats Ohio State.
If he hasn't eaten anybody on the staff by that point.
What? All right.
Lucky?
If he beats Ohio State,
Yeah.
then he keeps his job. If he doesn't, I guarantee he's out.
I don't even think he keeps his job if they
If
do
he
win
beats Ohio State, he keeps his job. If he doesn't, he's out.
He's not. I'm telling you right now, he's
Whatever.
not. Next one we got here is number 8 Auburn against number 17 Texas A&M. Who you got on that one?
I'm gonna go Auburn.
Okay.
I want to throw one in there. Northwestern or Michigan State at Northwestern. Michigan State lost. It is in Ryan's Field. Ryan's Field is a very, very energetic place. I don't know if you've ever been there for a football game.
Yeah, I know I have been.
But I'm giving this to Michigan State only on the reason of they just came off a loss. They're pissed.
Yeah.
And they're going to go out and stomp.
Yeah, I got to give it to Michigan State, too. I'm going to take that. And as far as Auburn and Texas A&M, I'm going to go with Auburn. The kid Bo Nix looks really good right now, and that team is really riding roughshod. So now we got number 15, UCF against unranked Pittsburgh. What do you got there?
I'm going UCF. I think UCF, I like their quarterback. They even have Brandon Wimbush. I know he hasn't been playing. He's actually lost his spot. But you have a two quarterback weapon system there. So if their starter goes down, Brandon Wimbush can step in. I've seen what he can do.
Put him at wide receiver.
Yeah,
Play him at
or
running back.
Like, you can throw him in the Wildcat situation, and I think that team's going to be.
Don't let him throw the ball. I'm sorry, dude. He's very inaccurate.
He is, and I've agreed with you for the most part. Obviously, I didn't agree with you when he was on the team, but I knew deep down he had accuracy issues. But that's something that he can't. It's not like he can't work on.
Yeah. No, yeah. But no, I'm going to say I think it's a close one. I give it a 6-point difference, but I think UCF can definitely squeak it out. All right, real quick on these before we get out of here. Washington, number 22, Washington at BYU.
BYU's still riding high from that win. It's going to be a close game. I think a 3-point game, but Washington wins.
I got BYU on that one. Number 25, TCU against SMU. Okay.
That game's over.
Oregon against Stanford. What do you got there?
Oregon wins, but it's going to be close. And I actually think Stanford might pull it out late, but Stanford's going to be hurting after their loss.
Yeah, I got Stanford winning that one. Next we've got here. Okay, we're not going to do those. All right, we'll just go to the big one right here. Notre Dame versus. We're not talking about that one.
You skipped one actually.
Which one?
Texas, Oklahoma State, dude.
Oh, okay, yeah, Texas, Oklahoma. If you want to do that one,
Not Oklahoma. Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State. Excuse me. It's not Red River rivalry.
Not Red River rivalry. That's in a couple weeks.
That is not what I said. You did not even say that. It was just a mumble of words.
It's starting to push together.
All right, what do you got?
I'm still going with Texas in this one.
Okay.
I do think Oklahoma State's going to put up a fight, and I think they're going to show a weakness in Texas. I don't know what that weakness will be.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a dogfight, but Texas will come out by a touchdown.
I'm going to say Oklahoma State. I think because of their high-powered offense, they can always find a way. And from what I saw against look, I think Texas has a pretty good defense for the most part.
Remember,
but
it's in Texas, and it's the Saturday night game.
That's true, but that's the other thing is, like, after what I've seen from the Texas
Get tickets
defense.
for $2 for that game.
Yeah, I know.
It's ridiculous.
But it's one of those things where I think Oklahoma State, I think people are underlooking them at this point. I think they could really show up. All right, then the big matchup, number 7 Notre Dame at number 3
7 o'clock p.m. Central
Georgia.
Time. No one touches my cell phone, social media, anything. Don't talk to me.
Who are you picking?
Dude, who am I? You think I'm going by? I'm going Notre Dame by 4.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say what Jake Bradley said. Georgia
Jake,
by
get to me.
Georgia by 21. No, that's Jake's prediction. I'm gonna say, you know what? This is tough. I'm gonna say Georgia by 10. I think it's close into the third quarter. I think Georgia finds a way to get a touchdown. I think they can pull it off.
We are going to have a Baker Mayfield moment. Notre Dame's going to plant the flag at center field.
No, that's not what they do.
Shut up. I don't care what they do.
They're good Catholic.
I don't give flibly what they are.
What was that?
Not a swear.
Yeah.
I don't care what they are. They're going to do what they want. They're going to have a Baker Mayfield moment. Ian Book's going to
stop banging the table.
Ian Book's going to plant the flag, and he's going to run off the field, and then he's going to have a beef with Colin Cowherd because I hate that man.
Did you call him Clown Cowherd?
Yeah, clown.
Okay.
He's a clown.
All right.
I know you like him and all, but
I like watching him. That's all.
he's a clown.
All right.
I want to throw this one out there because I got 2 more just because they're Illinois. Nebraska at U of I.
Nebraska's going to I'm sorry. Nebraska's going to stomp
I think Nebraska's going to win by a touchdown.
It's going to be a lot more
No,
than that.
because Nebraska's struggling.
I can't do it. It's going to be like a 14, 17-point difference on that.
I think it's going to be
You lose to Eastern Michigan, and your defense doesn't even find a way to attack the quarterback until like the third or fourth quarter or whatever. I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. Sorry. Nebraska's going to win that one by an easy.
Nebraska. The other one is Southern Illinois at Arkansas State.
Arkansas State by 2 touchdowns.
I don't know how good Southern is this year, but I'm going to say Southern by 3.
All right.
I'm saying a field goal.
Okay. All right. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to do it for our show here. I know we ran kind of long on this one, but I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I know this was this is pretty much what we would like to do, but I hope you guys had fun with this. There was a lot of football talk. I'm very exhausted at this point, and I still have a lot of work I still have to do. Yeah, so Tom, where can they always find you, of
At
course?
McLovin6193 on Instagram and Twitter, where I have been tweeting a little bit more.
Well, you use your social media.
I don't use Instagram.
I know, and I keep tagging you in it, and it's not going anywhere for
No.
whatever reason.
I see it. I just don't do anything with it.
Oh, well,
but I don't use
wonderful.
Instagram.
What a good friend you are.
I don't use Instagram, and I barely use Twitter. I'll go on Twitter, but I see stuff. The reason I don't use Twitter as much is because there's a certain person on Twitter that irritates the living
You
daylights out
already
of
know.
me.
You don't have to go into an explanation on it. Your soliloquy has already been put out there for the world, and I'm cutting you off right now. I'm playing.
But I want people out
I'm
there.
playing the opera music. It's already done.
But I want people out there to start just ripping him for complaining so much.
No ripping nobody.
Why?
Because you've already said the name enough times as it is.
I know.
You even said it today in the show. All right. Well, if you guys want to find me, you can find me on Twitter at @TheFluffyGuru. You guys can find me on Instagram at BoomCrewCaptain. Also, guys, make sure to follow us on our Facebook page at Team X-Bomb Sports, see Seasons 1 and 2. Make sure to find us on our Instagram page at X-Bomb Sports, our Twitter page also at X-Bomb Sports. Follow us on our on our Twitter at XBP_official for the X-Bomb Productions official thing where we give you news and updates on everything going on there. And also, guys, to make sure to subscribe here to this YouTube page at X-Bomb Productions. Make sure like, comment, and subscribe on all the videos and stuff. Guys, we're approaching pretty soon here on we're coming close to the anniversary, on the 2-year anniversary. So if you guys want to see anything special, want to hear anything special, we'll probably, maybe we'll do some like fan questions. We'll answer some of these final fan questions we've gotten from you guys. But if you guys have any others you want to pour in, please, by all means, bring them in, please. You guys can email them to us at xbpofficial, no I between the F and the C because I messed that up, at gmail.com. You guys can email them there, and, we'll find them, we'll pick them out, and we'll go through the ones that we really like. And also make sure, again, putting up points on Saturday at sportsdownchicago.com or on the Sportsdown Chicago Facebook page, and check them out every Saturday from 12 to 2. Hopefully they will be on that week. If not,
also, by the way,
we will
for
be
that
on there
Georgia
for them.
grocery store that decided to take Irish Spring out of your store, South Bend tried to take Georgia peaches out, but they're not in season, so we couldn't do that. Sorry.
Jeez, what a dig. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you on Saturday. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. And with that, as always, much love and peace out, Boom Crew.